All right, you guys are thinking about getting your behinds back on a plane, but I'll tell you what, there's a faster, quicker way to get through the airport and to get back in the country. That's right, guys. I'm going to talk to you guys about global entry and TSA Pre Check and my experience. Stay tuned. I'll be right back here in a second to discuss it. All right, guys, Andre Reese.biz. All right, guys, not only do I do taxes, I do retail, I do bookkeeping, I make nice videos, I do a whole bunch of other stuff. All right, guys, like I said, I'm gonna go ahead and talk to you guys today about global entry and TSA Pre Check. As you guys are aware right now, the country is opening back up. I've got my vaccines. I've got them stacked up. I'm ready to go. I'm coming up on a full immunity here, so I'm ready to get on the plane like everybody else is. You know, so one of the things you guys got to think about is, and this is kind of a good thing to really realize, I have a lot more opportunities now to travel domestically and international. And I'll tell you guys, if you guys haven't upgraded yourself during the 1 year that we were all on lockdown and figured out ways to make new revenue streams and to be able to elevate yourself, you guys still got time left. And I'll tell you what, I've done that, and I'm ready to get on the plane and to be able to try to make it happen and get some of these deals done and see some of these situations that are going to ultimately parlay into more revenue. And I'll tell you guys, one of the most frustrating things that you can experience when you're traveling, especially as everything starts to ramp up in the airports, is having to wait in those long lines. And I'll tell you, there's nothing like going through TSA, and especially in a busy international airport like San Francisco, and having to wait, 30, 40, 50 minutes in line to try to check through. And then there's definitely a better way. And then if you travel internationally, you fly into the country, having to go through customs and those long lines also as well. I know you guys have all stood in line and watched people walk up and walk through and not have to take the shoes off and didn't have to fill all the paperwork, all that, and they went through the global entry or the TSA Pre Check. So I'm going to tell you guys about my experience here. So I'm basically at the airport right now, San Francisco International Airport. I went ahead and booked an appointment to be able to get approved for that. And so what is TSA Pre Check and global entry? They're actually two different programs. You can actually apply, just if you don't travel internationally at all, you can apply for TSA Pre Check. It's a process that you go through to become a trusted traveler. You sit down with a customs agent, they look at your background, they verify basic information, and they'll go ahead and pre-approve you to enter or to go through the TSA Pre Check with minimal issue and effort, so you don't have to take your laptops out and liquid and take your shoes off, take your belt off, all that type of stuff, because you're already considered to be a low-risk traveler. And that costs about $75 for a 5-year membership. And you can supersize that and put an extra $25 on it and get global entry. Global entry allows you to get in and out of the country internationally and skip a lot of the lines and the difficulty of going through customs that might take an hour and a half, etc. So you're able to apply for one or the other one and get both. So that's what I went ahead and did. And then kind of a little hack for you guys, depending on what kind of credit card you have. I actually have a credit card that's through Chase. It actually provides you the benefit of TSA Pre Check global entry. There's other ones also out there as well, American Express. So when you do end up, so I'm really going to just talk about the global entry because it runs about $100 for the program. So once you're able to apply for it, you figure it's about $20 a year. And, it's pretty straightforward. You go online, you apply directly through the website, and I'll put a link in this description that'll allow you to be able to go ahead and do that. And I'll just say this real quick. When I went ahead and applied right now, traffic is low in the United States. There's not a lot of action going on. It took me about less than 24 hours to get pre-approved. If I wanted to schedule an interview, I could have done it really the next day. So right now, if you're thinking about global entry, you thought about it before, you've been impressed and in awe by the people that have walked through TSA Pre Check quickly or through global entry, this is the time definitely for you guys to consider going ahead and applying for the program. So I'm here at the airport right now, and I'm just gonna go ahead and chronicleize my process of getting through the interview process, and I'll basically summarize that here in the very end. But really, the whole purpose of this video is really encourage you guys to, as the world starts to open up, and consider looking at TSA Pre Check and the Global Entry Program for Trusted Travelers. And the process is very easy, very straightforward, and very simple, especially now that not a lot is going on as far as traveling is concerned. But once more people have the vaccination and people feel a lot more confident to get out and about, and fly around the country and the globe, you will definitely have a lot more difficult time, going through the process. So it's straightforward. Go ahead and apply online, and I'll go ahead and wrap this up for now. And I'm going to go ahead and get out the car and go ahead and go to my interview. It's scheduled to be at 4:30, or actually 8:30 today, and I'm here roughly about 7:45 here at the airport. Take care, guys. Actually, no, don't take care. Stand by. I'm going to be right back in a second. All right, here we go. All right, guys, I made it. I'm over here walking up to the spot where I'm going to check in at. Parking was relatively easy, and got off on the 3rd floor to be able to get to the walkway. So I'll check back with you guys in a second. All right, I continue to walk in on the 3rd level. You can see right there. And then I'm just going to follow the signs for Global Entry. And go ahead and go this way. All right, guys, I'll be right back in a second. All right, here we go. It's easy to find. You just round the corner, follow the signs, and you're going to see the Global Entry spot right there. I'll go ahead and have a seat and wait for them to call me. And I got all my documents. I'm ready to go. All right, guys, I made it. I went ahead and I'm sitting down. I just checked in, so my appointment is at 8:30, and I think it's about 7:53 or so, so I got a little bit of time. But as soon as I walked up to the door, the attendant came out and checked me in, so the process was really, really easy to go ahead and do. And so I got my documents. I just went ahead and followed the instructions that they said after I booked the appointment. I brought my passport, my driver's license. I brought a couple extra forms of identification, as far as medical bills and stuff, or not medical bills, but utility bills to be able to prove that my address is accurate, so I'll check back with you guys a little bit here after I have my interview, and I'll kind of tell you guys about how that went and what happened. All right, guys, there you go. I just went ahead and did my Global Entry appointment. It was really easy, really straightforward. It took about 10 minutes. They asked a bunch of questions, so hang on tight. Once I get to the car, I'll go ahead and summarize everything for you guys. All right, guys, that's it. I have had the highest honor bestowed upon me that can be bestowed on a traveler. I'm now a member of the Trusted Traveler Program through Global Entry, and I also have thrown in for free, I guess. Well, you got to pay for it. It's all packed into the fee. I'm now TSA Pre Check, so I can get through any of the airports now with a quickness by going through the TSA Pre Check. And I got the Global Entry that's going to make it really easy for me to get back into the country with minimal paperwork. I don't have to wait into those long lines. So let me go ahead and break down for you guys real quick how everything went. So I got there roughly at about 7:55 or so. And the lady came out, or maybe it was a little bit earlier than that, a couple minutes earlier than that. The lady came out, she saw me, she checked me in. I sat down for maybe 2 minutes. My appointment was at 8:30. She went ahead and came out a couple minutes to 8 and called me in. I walked into the office, and they had roughly 5 officer windows that are behind plexiglass. So I sat down and provided my documentation to the customs officer. I gave him my driver's license, I gave him my passport, and I had my cell phone out on a little desk there, and he's behind plexiglass. He stood up and looked. He was like, "Hey, you got to put that cell phone away." So, they don't want to have anybody filming anything or recording anything, so that's understandable. It's a governmental office, high security, that I get it. So I went ahead and put my phone into my little kangaroo pouch on my jacket, and then the interview began. So the whole process took maybe about 10 minutes or so. He went through my passport in detail. He checked information in the computer. His computer was running a little bit slow. A couple things. When I had applied under my full first name, middle initial, and my last name, and of course the third. And on my passport and my driver's license, it says my full name. So he went ahead and updated my information to reflect my full name. He said, whatever the Global Entry membership card shows, you have to have it match, directly what's on your passport. If it doesn't, it causes chaos with the system. So he went in and fixed that, and he encouraged me to make sure that whenever I do book a flight, that I use my full first name, middle name, and my last name as well. Pretty straightforward. I get that. And then so the only other thing we're looking at is When he was verifying my information, you know, there was a point where I had my driver's license that matches my, you know, home address and all that. He wanted to know about my P.O. box. So luckily I had a piece of mail with me that showed my P.O. box. He wanted to confirm that. There were some other questions they asked about, you know, being arrested and stuff. So I had to disclose that. There's a couple times way back in the 90s where I had, I call them a courtesy arrest. You know, and so that information's in the system. Maybe it's been expunged. No charges were filed at all. So that he asked about that. Since then, I've had a top secret clearance, you know, through the FBI. It was issued, you know, with the FBI background investigation. So that all that information was, you know, all previously vetted before and checked out. So that, I guess they work with the FBI, you know, to be able to look at your background and be able to determine, you know, if you're trusted or not. So that information had been, you know, vetted a long time ago. So other than that, you guys just need to be ready to have anything that you think you might need to prove who you are, your address. If you have a arrest record before in the past, you actually got charges charged against you or charges dropped, you got to bring all that stuff along with you. And the only other thing you're kind of looking at there is just be patient, you know. I know it's a little bit anxious, and so if you do not get approved on the spot, they need additional information. They're going to go ahead and request that from you. They're going to probably have some type of mechanism for you to be able to submit it. But I was instantly approved, sitting there in the chair. He gave me my provisional information on how to check in, what to do, that type of stuff. You know, so I'm excited. You know, the world now is mine. There's a lot of things I'm looking at trying to do to, you know, expand my business, and I will be doing a little bit more traveling here in the next few years or so. Some local within the United States, domestic, some international. So this is definitely going to aid in my entry into the airports and entry back into the United States, you know, if I'm flying in internationally as well. So I definitely encourage you guys, especially right now. There's not a lot going on with these guys. There's not a lot of traveling. There's a lot of, and I'll tell you guys, to be honest with you, when I applied for the application initially, it took less than 24 hours to be conditionally pre-approved. And I could have had an interview the next day. So theoretically, I could have gotten approved and had an interview within 48 hours. It hasn't always been that way before in the past. And I know at one point they had the San Francisco International unit shut down, you know, so you would have to fly down to Los Angeles to go through the same kind of process. So straightforward. So that's it, guys. I'll go ahead and wrap it up. Like I said, I encourage you guys, if you can, especially with the world opening up now, to get the global entry program. It's good for 5 years. And if there's anything else I could think of, no, I can't at all. So like I said, always, guys, make sure you guys like this video. It helps the algorithm. And make sure you guys subscribe to my channel, especially if you guys see this on YouTube. I'm trying to increase my followership and then eventually be able to monetize my channel. Regardless if I'm able to do that or not, I'm still going to produce great content for you guys. And I just appreciate the support. Take care, guys. Be safe. And I'll see you guys on the other side. Take care. Hey guys, thanks for sticking with me all the way to the end of this video. Visit me directly at andrereese.biz. 4 things to do: like, follow, subscribe, hit that bell. Stay safe, guys. Lift the glass to freedom. Stay woke and don't get TikTok. Take care. I will see you guys in the next video.